want you to let you can watch us live on Facebook, ACTV Ondo. You can also watch us on our YouTube channels live, ACTV Ondo, and you can also watch on our TV stations within the campus. So now we'll be running down to call in the names of aspirants for the 2019-2020 session. Freshmen, are we good to go? All right. Without wasting time, ladies and gentlemen, I'll present to you the list and the names of the qualified Central Executive Council members. Can you bring forward the General Secretary, the aspirant for the General Secretary, Mohammed Rashid? Please, can you come forward? Mohammed Rashid. Mohammed Rashid. All right. Let's go straight to the Director of Transport. I'm going straight to the Director of Transport. Mohammed Rashid, the aspirant, are you around? Okay. I'll go straight to the next. The Director of Transport, Sanusi Ridwan. Sanusi Ridwan. Adeyemo Rashid, if you're around, please come forward. Sanusi Ridwan and Adeyemo Rashid. Sanusi Ridwan and Adeyemo Rashid, if you're around, please come forward. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Now, the manifesto is to bring the aspirants for these positions to give us a breakdown of their plans and their proposal for the academic session that is coming up. And so we'll be hearing from them. But if you have questions, you have suggestions or opinions, you can send it to our WhatsApp line, or you can send it to our SMS line, or you can even call. And the number to call is 0802-5180-518. The number to call, the number to send your SMS, the number to send your WhatsApp message is 0802-5180-518. Are you ready? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the aspirant for the Director of Transport. The floor is open for you. You just have you have 15 minutes. 15 minutes.
I believe you should go first.
Yeah. The electoral chairman, the member of the electoral committee, the press crew, members, my fellow contestants who are here to grace this occasion to me, good evening to you all. It is my honor and delight to stand amidst you today for the display of my manifestos. I am highly privileged. Yeah, my name is Sanusi Ridwan from Department of Social Studies, 300 level student, School of Art and Social Sciences, aspiring for the post of Director of Transport, Student Union Government, Adeyemo College of Education, 2019-2020 academic sections. As a student of Social Studies, who have acquired the basic necessary of transportation planning and other areas in building environments, if you elect me to be the Director of Transport, I will ensure the following. 1. I will ensure proper safety of Nigerian students. 2. I will create a platform whereby all the association presidents will register with the School Park Authority for easy movement of Nigerian students during the season semesters, holiday, festival, or occasion. If you elect me as the Director of Transportation Student Union Government, I will still ensure the driver as a security reporter. Because security is everybody's business, it is important that more persons be involved. In achieving this, I intend to make driver as security reporter. So they are the one who can talk the school environment at different time of the day. Thank you.
Alright. Yeah, you can go on. The second aspirant.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, ma'am. The elected chairman, the elected crew, my co-aspirants, and the delegates, sir, the observer. Adeyemo Rashid Kende, popularly known as G-Wagon, from the Department of Agricultural Science, School of Vocational and Technical Education. I'm aspiring for the post of Director of Transport, ACES level 2019-2020 section. If I emerge as the Director of Transport at the College of Education, my manifesto goes thus. Firstly, I shall arrange transport for student union at both national and international level. Secondly, I shall be the chairman of transport committee appointed in the accordance with the provision of constitution. Furthermore, I shall liaise with the operator, the chairman at motor parks such as Akure, Oka, Ife, and other parks within Ondo environment on the means to ease the transport of students during festive period and section breaks or semester break, so as to reduce the cost and stress of Nigerian students. Lastly, I shall take charge of monetary regulatory charges by AC Okada rider transporting students into the campus and off campus. In conclusion, I shall work hand in hand with the President and the other executive member for the betterment of Nigerian students. At this stage, I say it's a big dream, but I can't do it alone without your vote. Vote G-Wagon this Wednesday, tomorrow Wednesday. As we all know that the capacity or ability of a man is not judged by his stature. Dare to struggle, dare to win. Long live Adeyemo College of Education, long live Nigeria student, and Rita Consumer,
Thank you very much. That was a good one. So now I will be putting my question through to both of you. But let me start with Mr. Sanusi, really one.
Yeah.
In your manifesto, you were talking about driver, security reporter. I don't understand. Please, can you shed more light on that?
Yeah. As a driver who are in charge of carrying Nigerian students from one place to another, the reason I'm saying this is that as the drivers who carry Nigerian students within the school environment, they know the actual person who are engaged in bad behavior in the school environment, so that if I place a platform whereby I let the drivers know that who are those in charge of bad behavior, they will point out those groups because they are the one in charge of carrying Nigerian students from one place to another within the school environment. That is why I made mention that I will make drivers as a security reporter in the school.
Alright, thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I'll direct this question to Sanusi Ridwan. As Director of Transport to be, what are the measures you will put in place to stop the high rate of Okada in the school? The high rate of inflictions in the campus. You know, like now, if you want to transport an Okada from student union building down to my 12, they might say 15 naira, and you know the distance is somehow too short. So what are the measures you will put in place to stop that?
Yes, over the year I observed that Nigerian students are
Thank you very much. I would like to buttress on the 2 points they made. Firstly, about the security, appointing drivers and security. I would like to be specific. In terms of driver,
yes.
are you talking about the student union's bus driver or the community driver? Talking about the NPRT.
Yeah.
And secondly, as regard, everybody knows, every applicant knows that it's the constant fee that we bought or we transport ourselves within the school community is 15 naira.
70 naira also?
It's 15 naira. I bought 15 naira. I don't want to take it 17 naira before.
Yeah, I bought 52.
Naira. Generally, what we are trying to say is that is there a way you can actually meet with them, because the distance in school, if you are taking like I said, we are putting a bike within the school community from Aluta here to SUP building. You know the distance is very close.
Yes.
They'll charge you 15 naira.
Yes.
Also from SUP building to the uncompleted, the newly completed building here, it's 15 naira as well. I get it now. So what can you do as regard that?
Okay, thank you. I mean, it's not school driver that's in charge of school bus. No, I mean the bike man that are in the school park authority. That is why I mean that I will make use of drivers as a security reporter. That is the first question you asked me. The second one is, let's assume the from school gate to SUB is 50 naira. From school gate to Togo is 50 naira. Because constitutionally, according to subsection 20, subsection 10, page 46, 47, 48 says director of transport shall issue tickets to the drivers, to the bikeman at the school park authority. That is why I need to create a platform whereby the money should be conveniency according to the rules of tax. Tax says tax must be conveniency for the taxpayer. As the constitutional duty, I would like to make that the tax must be conveniency for the bikeman also.
Alright, let me quickly go to Mr. Sanusi. You said about in your manifesto something about Mr. Adeyemo, sorry, G-Wagon. This question is for you.
Okay.
You were talking about national and international level of transportation in your manifesto. I think I really need to get what you really meant by national and international. Are you planning an airplane flight for us here in school? Please shed more light on that.
No. What I mean is that I shall arrange transport for student union at both national and international level. About the international level, the school, the student union may have the privilege to move out from the school, like for some excursion or some program outside the country, sir, like Togo, South Africa, or any place in Africa, sir, or other place in the world, sir. So I shall arrange their passports.
Their passports?
Yeah.
Their passports?
Yeah. If needed, man.
Okay. Alright.
Mr. Sanusi Ridwan, you said something about issue of tickets. Issue of tickets are, when you constitute your committee and there is an opportunity for them to issue a ticket. Don't you see that avenue for some students to be corrupt? How do you want to manage that aspect so that people are people won't tarnish your image?
Thank you very much. I would like to address the issue by making or appoint one out of the black man to be the chairman that will issue tickets in order not to disturb the academic performance of Nigerian students, I will like to address the issue by appoint one person out of the bike man in the school park authority to be in charge, who will issue tickets in order for Nigerian students, in order for all the committee to face our primary assignment, that is the academic performance.
Please, before you dive on that, I will direct the question to both of you.
Okay.
As regard issuing tickets,
Yes.
I would like to say this: politics is at every level, and when you talk about issuing tickets and you want to appoint someone particularly, yes, you never might know the Okada riders or the bike riders out there are what kind of family. So you appointing someone directly might seem very biased. Why not throw it to them themselves and let them appoint someone? Then they send a representative to you, whereby you have a conversation with the person. And as regard you meeting with NURTW, you are going beyond the school authority. You are going beyond your own capability. You are going to NURTW, and you said you want to liaise with them such a way by it's a good innovation, a very good one. But I would like you to shed more light, because you guys stated you stated it, like how do you intend to do that? Because this you are talking about commercial vehicles. You get they can't take a price that will not benefit them. That is one thing you should always understand. I get it now. And one thing about I've always understood is that whenever if you are supposed to go to a particular place to and fro 4 times a day, but once they know the price they are charging is not really okay for them, they might decide to go 6 times, which while traveling they will increase their speed. I get it now. So how do you intend to do it in such a way that to benefit both the students and also the commercial drivers?
Okay. Thank you. It is very easy. The reason why behind this is that in this school we have just only one bus, which cannot contain all Nigerian students for easy movement. I would like to enhance.
You don't get my question wrong. You said the student during season.
Yes.
During session.
Yes, during sections.
And when there is no session.
Yes.
So that's what I want to shed light on.
Yes, I would like to create a platform.
Hold on, Mr. Sanusi.
Okay.
Did you really do your background check on if the school has only one bus?
Yes.
You can continue.
Yes, I would like to address this by liaise with the outside the school park environment, such as the Oka, Ife Garage, Akwa Garage, for easy movement of Nigerian students at affordable price. That is why I say that I will liaise, so that I will go to the Oka. Please, we want 5 buses. Ife Garage, please, we want 5 buses. Akwa Garage, we want 5 buses. At the same time, all the buses gather together with the school park authority, and then all the association presidents will now call their names. Please, Ife, let's assume Ife, Akure, Ibadan. All the people go from Ibadan, we go like this, or your Ore, we go like this. That is why I tried that. I would like to address the issue by create a platform whereby all the association presidents will register with the school park authority. Thank you, sir, for easy movement of Nigerian students.
Mr. Adeyemo, please take it over.
For mine, I will work in hand with the executive president, sir, to do something about that. I will write a letter to division of student affairs, to the provost, for help about the issue, sir.
All right, thank you very much. Because of our time, we will have come to the end of your own aspects. You can please leave. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, I would call on the aspirant for the Assistant General Secretary post. The post of the Assistant General Secretary, the person of Olorundare Anu Oluwatomi. Olorundare Anu Oluwatomi, the Assistant General Secretary aspirant. Please, you have to move to the stage right now. You're welcome.
Thank you.
You can start.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Olorundare Anutomi from English Department, Degree 2. I'm an aspirant for the post of the Assistant General Secretary at the Student Union level. Yes, thank you so much for this opportunity, and I'm using this medium to say that if I win for the post of the Assistant General Secretary, I will promote inter and intra documentaries or documentations. 2, I'm going to revitalize in the sense that give energy, give new life to documentations, to the key documentations and to the least documentations. And again, constitutionally, giving reference to our Bible, the Constitution of the Student Union Government, page 48 to be precise, section 32, subsection 42. Yes. The duties of the Assistant General Secretary is to deputize and to assist the Secretary in his absence. When he's not around, all the duties of the Secretary will be handled by the Assistant General Secretary. And number 2, the other constitution of the Assistant General Secretary is to make sure he or she is the secretary to the orientation program of the freshers orientation. So this and many more will you await and see when I emerge as the AGS of the Student Union Government. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Based on your manifesto, you said something about the inter-documentary on documentations.
Yes.
And I want you to please shed more light to that.
Thank you so much. When I say intra, I mean intra. I mean within us. There are some documentations that tend to be forgotten or probably tend to be like the least relevant ones. So I'm going to keep them tight and intact, because we can't say these things can actually be made reference to. And of course, I'm not saying the secretary is not good or also is not even in the right post to do that, but he might be too busy to do that. So that is the intra aspect. And the inter means probably we have other things to do with the outside world, probably other schools or any other thing that will also be handled. So that's what I mean by intra and inter documentations. Thank you.
Aren't you assuming the position of a press person by doing that, in a way?
Thank you. I don't think I have actually done or exceeded my post. I'm saying that everything will also be by the order of the General Secretary, who is also going to be my boss directly or indirectly. So I don't think I have done extra by saying to keep documentations if I am asked to do that. Thank you.
All right. From the observers, yeah, we have questions from you. The way to present the document of the SCG, can you give us that?
The way to?
What is the way to present the document of the Student Union Government? I guess that's the question of the person.
Thank you. The way to present, well, I am not so sure I got that question, but I am saying, okay.
Okay. The question is being reframed. The way to prevent the document of the Student Union Government.
Okay, thank you. The way to prevent the documents of the Student Union Government, of course, is going to be intact, and of course we have so many files that will make sure that we keep them according to according to how relevant they are. So of course there's office to the post, and of course everything will be in the files and with well labeled references. Thank you.
All right.
I would like to direct the question to you. you are aspiring for the position of Assistant General Secretary.
Yes, sir.
Yes, and it is well known that if you are in a meeting and the General Secretary happens to be around, it is mandatory and it's conditional that the General Secretary will take over that meeting. So let's say peradventure. Let me just ask you, in a situation whereby the General Secretary seems to be very active and very viable throughout the regime, how do you intend to make yourself efficient and viable as well?
Thank you so much. Of course, even in the constitution, we have to understand that there are some posts that do not have assistants. So the more reason why the secretary has an assistant is because there will be some works that the secretary can actually not do. You can't weigh yourself down. So I'm saying that even if the secretary is very, very efficient and all, there will still be some things that he's going to give to his assistant because he cannot afford to do it all. And if the secretary claims to be too good, we will talk it out. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I think we've heard it all from the aspirant for the Assistant General Secretary. You can please go.
Thank you.
I would like to invite the aspirant for the post of the Vice President. The aspirant for the post of the Vice President, I would invite Awogbeje Rachel and Aregbesola Iretioluwa. Awogbeje Rachel and Aregbesola Iretioluwa, please come up on the stage. We are waiting for you. Awogbeje Rachel, Aregbesola Iretioluwa. All right. To our viewers, please note that you can send in your questions, you can send in your suggestions, you can send in your advice to the studio line by sending a text message or a WhatsApp message to 0802-5180-518. 0802-5180-518. The Vice President, the aspirants for the Vice President, are you ready?
Yes, yes.
So can we have Awogbeje Rachel first? Thank you.
Good evening. The Dean Students Affairs in absentia, the Director of ACTV, the accounts on high table, the electoral chairman and his team, the member of press here present, the ever-ready delegates, and my co-aspirants. I am Awogbeje Rachel Oluwadamilola, Department of Early Childhood Care Education, School of Education, NC2, aspirant for the post of Vice President at SUG level. Martin Luther King said, and I quote, "An individual has not started living until he can raise above the narrow confine of individualized counsel to the broad counsel of humanity. The need to give each other the space to grow, to be ourselves, to exercise our dignity. We need to give each other space so that we may both give and receive such beautiful things as idea openness, diligence and inclusion. I, Awogbeje Rachel Oluwadamilola, believe in ensuring that all interests of the popularity and the prosperous state of well-being is opposed if elected as the Vice President of Student Union Government. Knowingly fully that the primary objective of Vice President is to assist the Mr. President and carry out other functions in the Student Union constituency. Here are my agenda. Creation of entrepreneurship and vocational training for students. Meaningful orientation and welcome party for fresh students, inclusive welfare of students, education supports, e.g. tutorials, provision of past question for students and free course form registration. Thank you.
You can take over.
The Provost of the College, Dean Division of Student Affairs, President Student Union Government, Chairman Electoral Committee, Gentlemen of the Press, fellow aspirants, distinguished students of this great learning, listening to me at this very moment, I pray that Almighty God will crown all our examination with success. This is the facial appearance and the voice of Aregbesola Iretiola Elizabeth, an NC2 student from the Department of Integrated Science of this great citadel of learning, aspiring to serve the Student Union as Student Union Vice President at the Yemi College of Education, Ondo State, Nigeria. As we all know that the decision we make can either make or mar the affairs of this college for the next 1 year. If I, Aregbesola Iretiola, am elected as the Student Union Vice President, I will uphold the provision of the Constitution as contained in Chapter 40, Section 32, Subsection 2 of the Student Union Constitution, which reads thus: shall act in the absence of the President, shall be the chairman of the Orientation Week, shall be the chairman of the Union Week Committee and be assisted by the Social and Publicity Committee, shall direct the affairs of the National Union Week as the chairman of the committee, shall render a comprehensive report of the Orientation and Union Week anniversary to the CEC members, which is the Central Executive Council, not later than 10 days after the completion of each activity. In addition to these constitutional duties, my mission includes: 1. Encouraging more participation of students, most especially the female students in the college, in extracurricular activities like sports, politics, and election. I, Aregbesola Iretiola, will work in conjunction with other members of the executive, departmental vice presidents, faculty vice presidents, all female hostel or chancellors in building a bigger profile for students in sports and exercise. 2. I will make myself and my office available for all for one-on-one interaction with the students, thereby creating more avenue to gather opinions from them, and as necessary steps will be taken towards them. Ladies and gentlemen, without any criticism, therefore, I present myself to you, Aregbesola Iretiola, an NC2 student of this Department of Integrated Science, aspiring for the post of the Vice President. I want to assure you all that a vote for me is for a better development. Long live Student Union Government, long live Adeyemi College of Education, long live Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The aspirants for the Vice President's position. My first question goes to Ms. Rachel. And I want to know, because you said in your manifesto that you will be giving free registration, course form registration to students as the Vice President. How would you do that? What are the plans and strategies you have towards achieving that?
Thank you, ma'am. I believe when we have a good rapport with the faculty presidents and other level course rep, with that we may have our own system. We may have our own system so that we can do the course form free for every student.
Are you saying you're going to buy system, the tenure would get system?
Yes.
For the school?
Yes.
And where would that be?
Huh?
Where would that be? Another MIS institute?
It can be in a building.
All right.
To buttress to that point, Are you trying to tell us that you will get a new system through your own personal pocket, or is there going to be a budget for that? Don't you see that as a means of exploitation?
Thank you, sir. I believe as a leader, if you have the system, you can help every other one.
All right, Mr. Chairman.
I hope, Rachel, in your agenda you mentioned something like creation of entrepreneurial and vocational training for the student. And I want to ask you, what are your plans towards that, and how do you think you can achieve this?
Thank you, sir. I believe through this entrepreneurship or vocational training like baking, carpentry, barbing, tailoring, this will also help the students in achieving their aims.
Yes, I mean, how are you going to do that? Are you saying that you create workshops or something,
Thank you, sir. Not that we can invite the experts. That is, and apart from that, we have many students here that know how to do this thing.
All right, we have messages on our WhatsApp page, and this question goes to Miss Awogbeje, Rachel.
Yes.
This person says, how do you plan on raising funds for free? I guess you said that. How do you plan on raising funds for free and cost registration funds?
For free. I've said it earlier. I say with a good rapport with the faculty representative.
Is that how?
Ma?
Is that how you have to say? So we go to the next question.
Before the next question, it seems co-aspirant is feeling relaxed. You stated in your manifesto and the candidate you had a very good plan for us, the whole applicants. But one thing I know is that, to the best of my knowledge, you mentioned about the female participating in sports and politics. The former vice president, I was a very strong advocate of this. You all know. She did to an extent. How do you tend to bring in new ideas? I happened to witness the entrepreneurial program she organized. But I will tell you, the female members or the female students in academic qualification really disappointed me that because few of them participated. How do you prevent this from reoccurring? And talking about sporting activities, everybody wants something that will be beneficial to them. You can't expect me to come to the field, train every time, and not just come to play and have fun. What plans do you have on ground to push them forward in having a career? Some might, after playing football or having a particular sport, they were like, okay, fine, I can have this as a career. Yeah. What plans do you have for them as such this?
Thank you, sir. You asked two questions. And to the first one, about that, it is not about the present, but we're talking about the future. Those coming in, catching them young, and that is where I don't know what really goes on there.
Your plan is for the new students coming in, not for the Stellites?
No, you are really getting me wrong. Those that are there already, they know about all this. And it is just words of encouragement, because as for me, I don't even think I can. Because when I came to this school, I don't even want to venture into this, but I was encouraged. So many of them got discouraged, maybe because of one or two things, because of phobia. That is why some of them were discouraged. But through encouragement, talking to them, I mentioned this in my agenda, like opening a one-on-one interaction with them, using our social medias and communicating to them, telling them the benefits of engaging themselves, even in extracurricular activities. So I think with that.
Mrs. Aregbe, under the participation of females in sports, politics and the likes, majority of females they distance themselves from politics based on the fact that they were being sexually harassed. So how do you want to put the measures to this if you want them to be fully participated in politics?
Yes, it is by encouraging them and talking to them. Yes, we can do it. Thank you.
Encouraging them, talking to them on the streets. I don't understand. Please.
I don't get you, ma.
Encouraging them and talking to them on the streets.
Not on the streets. It is just creating an avenue and platform that we can just gather them and talk to them.
Gather them through which avenue? Organizing a female party. Please explain better.
Organizing a
what
female.
Do you have on ground? Like, do you want to create a platform? Maybe a woman in politics?
Yes, that is what I'm talking about. It is creating women, like what you said.
All right, we have another message coming in for both of you. And this person says, how do you intend to uphold the interest of Nigerian students as a female leader? We believe that the females are like the mothers to everyone. Yes. So how do you both intend to uphold the interest of Nigerian students?
You go first.
Miss Rachel, you can start.
Sorry, ma, your question once again.
How do you intend to uphold the interest of Nigerian students?
You don't get the question?
Yes, I'm sorry.
How will you uphold the interest of the students of Nigeria, especially the applicants?
Thank you, sir. By encouraging them.
All right, please, Miss Retiola, can you take it over?
By giving them more enlightenment, I think with that it will.
Please, I would like you to be more explicit when you give us points.
And since you guys don't get the question, interest. Interest means our voice, what we want. We don't need encouragement. We need you to do something for us. Our voice, what we are agitating for. How do you intend to uphold them?
Then we don't know what you're really going for. So
you don't know their interests. You don't know what they really want, and you want to serve
the interests of the students.
Yes. Like it or not, students are facing one issue or the other.
Yes.
And they want you all to meet it.
How do you want to react to that and solve problems? That's what
okay.
The interests of the student, their welfareism.
Things like that.
And how do you intend doing that? Upholding the aspect of welfareism?
I believe as a representative of the students or as a leader. When such leader has a good rapport with the management, and apart from that, when the representative of the student have a good rapport with the landladies or the landlord, that is those people living outside the campus.
I'm so sorry, and I'm not sorry. I believe you guys are going for a particular position, and a vital position, of course. Okay, let me now put this to you. Can you tell me differently? Each of you, like a particular problem, if you know problem that you know that Nigerian students are actually their beggars are facing right now, and you know if you assume the position of vice president, go directly and solve that problem first.
Yes.
Different problems.
The issue of water.
One examination alert. I noticed in second semesters that the performance of the students is a little bit low, maybe because of the extracurricular activities like election, like days, and so on and so forth. Creating an examination alert for them, like countdown days to examination, this won't make them so carried away. They will just have time to read. When they see maybe a week to the exam, 1 month to the exam, they will know how to prepare and won't be carried away.
Because of time, we would love to discharge you, but our messages are coming in for you both, and we feel that this is just a time where the applicants want to know if each one of you are the right ones to cast their vote. So I would ask this one, and this one is for both of you. How do you intend to defend, how do you intend to defend sexual harassment based on your office? The issue of rape and sexual harassment. How do you intend to defend females? Ms. Ireti, you can start.
To intend to defend females on rape.
How do you intend to prevent rape or sexual abuse?
I just hope in my tenure that such won't happen. Yes.
But you have to have plans against that if in case it happens. You know, there's a saying that you prepare for the worst. So what if it happens? How do you intend to?
Is it still me?
All right, Ms. Rachel, can you please answer?
Thank you, ma'am. I believe by encouraging the female students on how to dress.
All right, thank you very much, President. All right, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have come to the end of this session with the Vice President aspirants. We can please vacate the stage.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know that the seats of the whole one is important to all the applicants. And right about now, I want to present to you the aspirants for the SUG president to please come forward. And I'll be calling Akimbinu Omolayo, Ayola Olamileko, Omoni Dabira. Akimbinu Omolayo, Ayola Olamileko, Omoni Dabira. Applicants watching us at the different TV station, at the different stations on campus, those on Facebook, YouTube, please send in your messages, WhatsApp messages or SMS to 002-5180-518, 002-518-0518. The aspirants for the president will be given their manifestos now. Please send in your message or call if you want to 002-5180-518. Please can you welcome to the stage Akimbinu Omolayo, Ayola Olamileko, and Omoni Dabira. Okay, I would like Akimbinu Omolayo to start. Thank you.
All right, of the greatest Nigerian students and the articulate Nigerian students, I want to appreciate everyone who is watching me right now for the opportunity given to share my manifesto on how 2019-2020 academic session will be. My name is Omolayo Paul Akimbinu, popularly called Succulent, from the Department of English, Faculty of Languages, and an aspirant for the position of the Executive President of the Student Union for 2019-2020 academic session. This is my manifesto, and under the manifesto are these following items. The first thing we want to bring out is the fact that as students of Adeyemi College of Education, we are a match with every student in every university or higher institution in the world. This we want to lay bare. This we want to make sure by facilitating mental growth and development. The second thing we will be looking at is our health care. We want to make sure there is improvement in the health care system of our great citadel of learning. The third thing we'll be looking at is transportation. The transportation has majorly been based for on-campus, in-campus students. Now we are going to facilitate transportation both for in-campus students and for off-campus students. If you look at neighboring universities in the neighboring southwest states, we have transportation that takes them even from the town to the college. So we are going to facilitate that. One other thing that we want to do is to stop every form of harassment of students, either from outside forces and inside forces. No student of Adeyemi College of Education should be harassed in any way, whether academically or physically or mentally. Any form of harassment will be dealt with great passion if I am elected as president. Another thing we'll be looking at is an ease in registration and ease in every academic activities. Right now, as we speak, there is an application being developed that will make sure that every free venue in Adeyemi College of Education is noted in the application, where no student will have to walk miles and miles and miles again to get a lecture venue. Every course rep will have this application and they will click it to check every available venue to know if the venue is available or not. Another thing we want to look at is every of our database should be online. We should not be having to go through stress to do our green file registration, air center registration. We don't have to queue for long. So we are going to facilitate it with the management, that they bring up a form of registration that it is safer to do the registration online. It is safer for lecturers to sign their course forms, to do the accreditation of course forms online. Why do we register course form online, do everything online, get our tutorial list online, just like the form of tutorial list, and we still have to take our course form to someone to sign manually? These are the things we want to look at. And for a note, security is one of the greatest challenge we have in this college, and one of the things I have done before, ever since my NC days, is to make sure every student get the awareness that security is part of them. We know the situation of Nigeria. There are no security forces guarding the lives, saving the lives of students. If every student get that awareness that yes, I am in charge of my own life, two people working together get that attention that I am in charge of my own life, we are going to create this awareness, and every student with the paramilitary forces on campus will secure the life. And we are going to facilitate more security measures with the school management, so that not just for people on campus, for people outside the campus. We are going to look at aiding the ease of school Wi-Fi. We have discovered that just 20% of the students, less than 20% of the students live on campus. And why are we creating a platform where only students inside the campus can have a use to what 80% others are using? So we will facilitate a medium where the Wi-Fi can be used by the students in neighboring environments within the school, where we have largely populated students. And again, we want to look at a case of easy use of electricity. Electricity is a challenge in Nigeria, we know, but there are means for generating electricity. In a meeting with the BEDC, they stated all the things they measure to get electricity for people in this town that we are in. Thank God for the measures made in this past administration, that 24/7 electricity will return back to campus in a short time, because the contract given to them, I think they finished the project, and we are waiting for ratification. But one thing I will make sure is to bring electricity to facilitate constant supply of electricity. Even if it's not regular, it should be constant in neighboring, in vastly populated areas within the college. If I am voted in, all this and more I promise to do, and I promise to aid serious welfareism of Nigerian students. I should not come here to state that I am coming for the welfareism of Nigerian students. Who am I as a president if I don't fight for the right of Nigerian students? If I don't care for the welfare, it's like me coming as a governor of a state and saying I will build roads, I will build water, those are basic amenities. We should not suffer for welfareism. We should not suffer all these amenities. Every student has the right to get more than they pay for. Education is no more free in Nigeria, but even that we are paying for, we are not getting it. We are not enjoying it. This coming administration will facilitate, will make sure that every student gets more than they pay for. Wi-Fi is going to work. Everything, EVD is going to, we are going to facilitate how everything will start working. I'm going to end by saying this. As students of Adeyemi College of Education, we are not inferior to any students in the world. I am saying it categorically because our biggest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our biggest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? I am Akimbi Nomolayopo. Give me your vote and I will work for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, Mr. Omani, can you please start?
Of the great Nigerian students, ladies and gentlemen, member of press, every distinguished members was in the manifesto of the Student Union Government Presidential Election Debate manifestos. Tonight, being the 17th day of December 2019, I am Omoni Dabra from the Faculty of Art and Social Sciences, History Department to be precise. There are so many things as regards to student unionism, and I want to be practical with my manifesto. There are a lot of things that are problems to Nigerian students. I don't need to go and write down manifesto. I don't need to go and cram manifesto. But there are practical problems as students of Adeyemi College of Education that we are facing. One of the problems that we will identify among ourselves that as student union president we can do is the bringing out of ID card every year is a problem already. As I speak to you now, I am with an ID card that is saying that I'm in degree 2, but practically I'm in degree 3. Now, these are things as student union president can do easily. There are some things that we cannot do as student union president. I cannot promise you that I want to go and bring motor to come and answer you 40 naira in the school. There are some basic amenities that only government can do. The annual year income or the annual whatever of the student union is less than 3 million naira. How do you get transportation for affordable price and Nigerian students? Did you buy bike for these people that are doing it? Did you buy car for them? There are a lot of things as student union president you can do, and there are so many of these things that you cannot do, but the only way to get them done is by constructive consultation with the management. Now, let us use the ID card as a case study. Every student in Adeyemi College of Education is in trouble because we are still using the ID card that says that you are still in degree 2 while you are in degree 3 practically, and you are getting out of this school in the next 1 week. Me, as a student of history department, I am through with my degree 3 exams, and my ID card still reflects degree 2. These are so many other issues as student union president you can face. Now let us remove that one. If elected as president, I can cry to my father, the provost, the management. I said, Oga, Daddy, this ID card, if police peradventure take me, pick me up, they say, who are you? I say, I'm a student. What are you? What department are you from? What class are you? This ID card will implicate me. Oh. Then there will be a way that the management will fast track the production of our ID card yearly. I think we are paying for all of these things. So I doubt it if the management will say, let me tell you the truth. If you don't ask from your father, even if he has more than enough, he will assume that it is not your problem. And that is the reason why today in Nigerian College of Education, Part 3 student still uses Part 2 ID card without any wahala, because we have a team of leaders at the Student Union Affairs who felt that that is not necessity. But I tell you, as Nigerian student, these are things that can endanger your life. These are things that you cannot take outside. Now that is ID card. Another thing that has been a problem in the college is that every year when you want to write exam, I am just finishing my second semester exam, and could you believe that I'm just seeing the result of the first semester exam? Now there is what we call phobia. If I was given 3 carryover during the course of the first semester and that I saw the result at the point I was writing the second semester exam, to be candid, let's be practical with the situation on ground, will you be happy? It will cause another tension in you that is preparing for an exam, seeing the 3 carryovers. Now how do you solve this problem? These are things that are very easy for one to solve. As student union president, it does not take you 1 naira to solve problems like this. Now you go to the management, address them, sir, ma, daddy, mommy, these are our result. In other universities, we are students of history. Every human being is a student of history. There is no human that will not tell you, yesterday, last year, when I was this and that. It is history. So definitely, we can go to them and tell them that in other universities, this is how they do it. After a month of exams, results are released. And that if there is an excuse from the management or whatever, that our result will always be delayed because of effect vetting, this and that. As a student union president, we can also do more in facilitating this in order for our result to be released, so that result will not wait until when you have the next exam.
We have 2 minutes more.
However, there are so many things student union president can do, and there are also so many other things that you cannot do, but you can also liaise. As we saying it, if I'm elected as president, student union every year will carry out the project called souvenir. They will print a book and design it with their passport and their photos. That will not be my priority. I see that one as a minor priority. I will give Nigerian students souvenir, but there is something you can do better than souvenir. Now looking at the student union building as a case study, some set of student union president built it. As student union president, this and many other things you can do. Let us use the student union lawyer hostel as a case study. The student union president lives in lawyer. He is not given any quarters. He has no official place to live. But annex, where he's living, when you get there, we all understand the situation of the place he's living. To be candid with you, it is not correct. The number 1 citizen out of 15,000 Nigerian students living in that place, it is not correct. Now how do you solve a problem? You can facilitate in getting 3, 5, 10 bedroom hostels for Nigerian student executive. Let's respect our executive. If you don't respect what you have, who will respect it? So if a place, a provision is made for Nigerian student president, their executive, when other university students and their escorts are coming to the Academic College of Education, they go down to see them in their respective hostels and not that annex. These are many other things that we can do, and by doing all of this, there is what we call education, and the definition of education is not connected to preparing you to the larger society you are going to be meaningful, to impact positively to the larger society you are going. Definitely as students of this college, we are contributing to the ambience, I mean the society, Ondo as a community. Anytime we are not in school, no people will tell you, students are not in school, no market. Definitely, there is something they are getting from you students. Then in return, as a student union president, what do you get from the community? I always tell student union president, now looking at individuals, using Dr. Olusegun Mimiko, a former governor of Ondo State, as a case study, I always say it. I always tell anybody around me, come, Mimiko is from this state, who serves as 8 years governor of this state. You do not need to go and meet Mimiko to take money and put it in your pocket. Go to him and tell him, sir, His Excellency, we have a senator representing Lagos Central, Chief Mrs. Oluremi Tinubu, a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. She graduated from the college. She has a building, and every year people always say to Oluremi Tinubu's building. We have Chief Dr. Kigbule, who is from this town, who never entered Adeyemi as student, but he made sure that he provided a lecture theatre. Go to him and say, His Excellency, he spent 8 years as governor of this state. This Federal College of Education is situated in your own town. What can you do? We have Gosula Pabio, Dean's Block, Faculty of Languages. This person never come to Adeyemi, but he came to Adeyemi through influence. These are many other things we can influence. It is not the annual due. It is not the student annual due that you can use to do project, but it is through negotiation. Go to these persons, many other people. These people are not giving us money because some president who tried it, they pocket the money. If you want to make money as student union president, it is very simple. Go to Mimiko, tell him, Oga, this person is having a building, you are having a building, this person is also having another project and all that. Come and build 10 rooms hostel for student union executive. I might not be the person that will live there. By the time you do it, at the point of doing it, you give 20, 40 of your mates that have been working with you as, money must be president, or money that must be president. Oh yeah, go and bring a carpenter. You have settled them now. He did not steal somebody's money. He did not steal student union money. But you are empowering students through project that influenced. So these are things that we can do practically. As student union president, if elected, you don't need to go and borrow money. But the society is there. We are impacting on the society. We should also get in return from the society, and which we have been receiving. But these days we find it difficult to get from the society because time passed, student union president pocket the money without doing the project. These are many other things we will do if elected as president. So greatest Nigerian student and greatest observers, I, Honorable Money Dabra, if elected as the student union president of Adeyemi College of Education come 2019-2020 academic session, will try as much as possible to liaise with the management, liaise with the society, liaise with the ambience, liaise with Nigeria as a whole. This is Federal College of Education that will bring in projects that are more than souvenir. We will bring in projects that will endure for years. We will bring in things that Nigerian students will see, touchable, feelable for years. These and many other things because of time.
Thank you very much.
If elected as president. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We only spent our time.
You did. You were not time conscious with us. All right, let's go straight to Mr. Ayola Olamileko. You can start.
Good evening. The press council, the electoral chairman, and all other observers. Well, my name is Ayola Olamileko Joshua, popularly addressed with the political nomenclature as Baba Pae, and an aspirant for the post of president at the student union government level, from the Department of Biology, 300 level. Well, my manifesto is chunked to be await. What do I mean by await? A stands for advocacy, W for welfareism, A for academics, I for ICT, T for transportation, and S for security. As the student union president, there are practical things we will put in place. What do I mean by that? Nigerian students, especially Adeyemi students, are known for something. We don't have a cordial relationship with the executives of the student union. And how do we address the issue? Is by having faces everywhere. I, as the president, if elected, I will make sure that I appoint faces everywhere in the hostels and off campus. Students in Adeyemi College of Education, when faced with several troubles, run to the DSA. we have so much burdened the DSA with our problems. The student union executive should be able to answer to some calls. We should bring in some factors that can enable us to see the executives as our own. It is the student union government, not the DSA student union government. The DSA has been burdened with so much things. Our own government will address that. And secondly, when we are talking about welfareism, to be candid, welfareism is the utmost priority while we are in the student union government. And when we are talking about welfareism, it is so enormous that one cannot actually achieve it within a short period of 1 year. But our own government will make sure that we provide, for instance now, Adeyemi College is blessed with special students. We have the lame, we have the blind, and we have the deaf of recent. We make sure our government provide the lame with wheelchairs. We've spoken with so much organization out there, the NGOs, and they are ready to support us with wheelchair for the lame, the blind with walking stick, and the deaf with ear sensitizer, that we aid their academic prosperity in the school. That's one of our welfareism scheme. And secondly, Adeyemi students complain of no lecture theatre. Go to other university out there, most of them don't have the lecture theatre we have in the school. Our government will make sure that our capital project will be a shaft that will serve as a lecture theatre for students and also a relaxation center for them. Thirdly, our government will make sure that the library is open over the night for students to read. Go to other universities out there, you will see students read during exam all over the night. But here we don't have that. Our own government will make sure that we compel the management to help us open the library for students to actually stay over the night. Thirdly, I think that's academics. Academic students, when we have our results, you see, we have 298 students will write an exam, 278 will fail. Our own government will address it. And how do we come on board? We will make sure we constitute an academic committee that will monitor the progress of our students through visiting them in the lecture, collection of attendance list to know how they visit the lecturers. And how do we address that? We will constitute a committee under the VP, which will serve as the chairman, and they will attend to students, especially the newly admitted students. You will believe with me that some of them only need mentors to succeed. I am speaking with one of the students that had F in one of the courses in my department, and he told me that he wouldn't have gotten an F if he had known the type of department he was. So our own government will make sure that an academic committee that will monitor the progress of the level of academics of our students. And thirdly, that's ICT. You will believe with me that if you go to several universities, several colleges of education, they have transcended from manual dispensation to electronics. Our own government will make sure that we work with the management information system to make sure that all informations that come from the management, that come from the student union government, goes through the Gmail. And more importantly, if you notice very well, students of Adeyemi are not informed. You will believe with me that some of the students have given out their matric number to students of their mate to actually register their courses and get informations. Our own government will make sure that information is passed directly into their Gmails, and that wise it will bring about information that we encourage our students to learn. Thirdly, transportation. If you look at Adeyemi is not big, but we have problem of transportation. Our own government will address transportation in such a way that we will give a list to those that convey our students both up in the campus and outside the campus. Thank God we have the director of transport now. Our own government will make sure that we work with the director of transport together with other executives to bring about a reformation in the area of transportation. We will work along with all garage that our students patronize, Ife garage, Akure garage, Lagos garage, to make conveyance of our students easier. we will make sure that we reduce the price of transportation in the college. Alayende School of Education in Oyo, they have a stereotype in which the motorists carry their students. Okay, if elected as a student union government, I will work with the director of transport. We will bring out a list from the gate to ETF. This is the certain amount you must collect. From this place to another destination, this is the certain amount you must collect. Our government will address that. And lastly, that's the area of security. You will believe with me that without security, there is no development. Our own government will make sure that we constitute a committee, a security committee, that will work with the paramilitaries on campus, that will work with the security in the campus, that will also work with the outside security like the Nigerian Police Force, like the DSS, and other force that can aid security in the college. Last 2 weeks, we got a report that one of our students was robbed in the college during an exam. Our government will make sure that all the properties and lives of our students are well secured. We will make sure that we bring in a force that will address the issue of security. You will believe with me that any students are always faced with security issues, even off the campus. Our government will make sure that we make our students rest assured of their lives and properties. Viewers at home, observers, I am promising you that all what I've just said is not being saying. It is what I can do. It is what I can do if you actually send me. I am Ayalola Joshua, popularly addressed as Baba Paye, and I am not too young to run for the post of president. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. I must really appreciate the three aspirants. You have already said so much, and you've said it well. And I must inform you that you have loads of questions from applicants. I'm sure they want to know different things about what manifesto you already read to us. So my first question will be going to Mr. Omolayo. Okay. This person says crisis is inevitable for anyone in a leadership position. Mr. President in Embayo, what can you do to prevent crisis in your regime?
That is a very, very big question because number one, we have to discuss what type of crisis are you talking about. Are you talking about health crisis, physical crisis, social unrest? A lot of things can be called crisis. If the whole student of Adeyemi College of Education, one level fails, straight F, that is a crisis. It's an academic crisis. So I would like that person to be direct. What type of crisis? But if he or she is talking about riots and series of protests, then I am going to say this: by the grace of God, I have built myself, and I'm sure the team coming with me from the diverse faculties must have built themselves with the spirit of diplomacy. Very early this year, not too early, mid-year, we went for an international youth diplomacy conference where we were trained in the art of reasonable conflict resolution. We know there are two types of people in the world, not the black or the white, not the degree and the NCE. We have the good and the bad. A diplomat will have a bridge between the good and the bad. When you have that bridge, when you hold that position, then there can be no crisis. But crisis in whatever sense, anybody who wants to cause crisis on their own will be apprehended by the forces on campus. But crisis caused by my administration, I doubt it.
All right, my question goes to Mr. Omoni. And this person says, if your mission changes to illusion, what will you do? And adding to it, the person says, what happens when the school authority doesn't comply with your demands? What happens? What will you do?
I'm sorry, please go again with the first question.
The question says, if your mission changes to illusion, I mean all that you have proposed to do, if it changes to illusion or the school authority doesn't comply with your demands, what would you do? What would be your plan B?
I think there had never been any point in time you go to your father and ask him some positive things that he would deny you. So I think if the missions are things that are positive, like I said the other time, definitely management will comply.
Okay, let me go to you, Mr. Omani. This person also, another person asks, your utmost priority as a union leader is a construction of SUG hostel or mansion. You never mentioned anything about the welfare, the security. Shouldn't we expect that from you?
Thank you. That is what I'm saying now, and I will never doubt it. When you are talking about welfare, it's only God that can take care of anybody's welfareism. See, that is the reason why we fail in a society like this. See, the welfareism of anybody in Adeyemi College of Education is even beyond management. If management tells you they can take care of the welfareism of Nigerian students, I doubt it. And that's the reason why we end up having problem. As a student union president, you don't have that power. You don't have the power. Okay, now, considering those who live on campus and those who live off campus, look at it. 80% or 75% of Nigerians are living off campus. 25 to 30% are living on campus. Now, when there are issues like no water on campus, we protest, aluta, continua. Instead of making a constructive analogy of the people living off campus who have been suffering the same problem and never protested. Are we together? Now, taking that as a welfare, as a student president, I will do that, I will do that. There are so many things. I thank God the provost was saying today when we were writing our undertaking that there are some things that are beyond the student union president. I agree with him. There are some things that are even beyond the provost. I agree with him. There are some things that the government will tell you that the provost of the college, if you do this, you are fired. So there are some things that as student union president you cannot do. And don't tell them because you want to do student union president that they will take care of their welfareism and all that.
All right. Now, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I would want to beg the aspirants, please let's be time conscious. Please go straight to the point. The questions being asked, eat it, what you will do and what you will not do, and then leave whatever other plans that are aside that question in particular. To you, Mr. Ipaye, this person says, do you have any outstanding resources to cater for the need of special students, which include the blind, lame, and crippled, just as you have said earlier?
Thank you. That's a very nice question. Like I said earlier, I've met with the NGOs. I've made a cordial relationship with them, and I've actually told them the problem we are facing as far as Adeyemi College is concerned, and they are ready to comply with us. In fact, they told me that whenever we want to have it, we should come for it. So,
all right, we have a general question for the three aspirants, and this person says, how can you make the school calendar to be friendly to the students? What is your plan towards that in your tenure? So please, let's start from Mr. Akembinu.
Come again with that question.
How do you want to make the school calendar friendly to students? What plans do you have towards
friendly?
that?
There are some questions that are relative. You cannot just say a school calendar that is friendly to me may not be friendly to my friend Omoni,
yes,
or may not be friendly to Ipaye. So, but to bring the understanding down, we have 2 long semesters, especially the first semester, and this is no cause of the students. Delayed admission, strikes, prolonged spells of holiday has caused a prolonged. One thing we want to do, everything structured must remain structured. You cannot, I'm not the one giving the student admission. If a student is admitted 2 weeks before examination, then the school should cater for those students. It is not the job of the student. We are to help them, to guide them through, give them the orientation, And even there should be a bad warning for them. You are being admitted 2 weeks before examination. There should not be a prolonged semester because of a late admission.
All right, please, Mr. Omani.
All right, I think the prolonged academic calendar is not because of anything. Management has been trying their best. One thing Nigerian students will consider, those of us that are listening to this program, and those who are ready to vote for money to be the next union president, it is because of our background though. Anytime we are on break, consider the time they will give you to go and rest. Management are not giving us the time because they want to prolong it to make the 12 months. Majority of students in Adeyemi College of Education are self-sponsored, or their fathers are either teachers or local government workers. So this takes the management to consider the inability of students to come and pay school fees immediately after 1 week. Now we are just through the second semester. Tell them to resume in the next by January 1st. So many students resume after 2-3 weeks of resumption. It is not because they want to resume late. It is because there is no money. And this is also an integral factor in making the school calendar taking up the 12 months, considering our financial status. I think that is the way I can put it.
All right, so Mr. Ifaya.
What's the question again, please?
How do you intend to make the school calendar friendly to students, the students at which you are leading?
Well, the management has always wanted the calendar to be fast, but due to some unforeseen contingencies, like problem of student not paying on time, problem of student not coming to school on time, there are some circumstances we cannot actually address, like problem of school fee. But if we have a situation in which we can actually address it, our own government will make sure we address it at the right time. Okay, the problem of school fee, our own government will make sure that we compel the management to ensure that part 1 students and part 2 students who have enormous school fees should be able to pay twice in a year. This will actually make the calendar of the school to be fast. I think the best way to actually address that situation is when we have the problem on ground, then we address it at the right time. Thank you.
Okay. Let me quickly say this. Okay, this one is coming from an applicant for the 3 aspirants, and this person is saying cultism is the biggest problem in and outside universities, campus. How do you plan on making students walk without fear or being bullied by cultists?
Please read the question again.
The person says cultism is the biggest problem in and outside the campus. How do you plan on making students walk without fear or being bullied in the school?
The case of cultism has been bearing on the necks of everyone within a town like this and within an institution like Adeyemi College of Education. And ever since, especially in recent times, there are been really great measures being put in place by the management and by every concerned student to make sure the war against cultism is strong and never relents. Students walking freely is majorly not hinged on cultists. A lot of people, unless we want to call robbers, also cultists, and unless cultists can also be robbers. So if there is a combination of cultists who are robbers, then of course there are security measures in place. Number 1, every cultist loves darkness. They love darkness. And where do they function well? They function in darkness. One of the things in one of the meetings we had with the provost is to light up every surroundings in the school, leaving out no dark spots. As someone has rightly said, we are living in a country where your life is not even safe. So it will be very difficult for an SUG president to promise you that as you are going, I'm with you. your life will be secured. I'm sending soldiers behind you. Unless we have all the resources in the world, cultism is not something that one person can fight. It is what we can sensitize the whole students. Number one, create measures. Do not walk alone in the night. That is one. Don't walk in the late hours of the night. If the town is not safe, then it will transcend into this community that we are in, which is Adeyemi College of Education. So please, cultism and number one, interrelated with students being walking free on campus, I need to disband that. Every student can be hampered by not just cultists, but workers of evil, and they function in darkness. We are going to lighten up the school, facilitate that with the very hearing mind of the student, of the school management, and we are going to sensitize the students on the measures they need to take on self-security.
Thank you very much. Mr. Omani?
The question, please.
Cultism, how do you intend to make students walk freely without the fear of cultism in the school?
To that question, I think that has to do with security.
Yes.
And I doubt it if Adeyemi as a college we have cultists. For money Dabra, because I can't believe when there is nothing officially declared that I am a cultist, and you now assume that there are cultists. So I believe there are no cultists. And if there have been issues as regards to taking phone and all that, those things will be addressed if I am elected as president.
All right, Mr. Ikaye.
The question, please.
On security, cultism is a big problem in universities. How do you intend to make students walk freely without the fear of being bullied or mobbed?
Thank you. You know, cultism in the institutions has become normalized. We have cultists everywhere, no doubt about that. We have cultists in Adeyemi, we have everywhere, especially in a town like this. But if elected as a student union government, one of the things we will make sure we will do is to sensitize the Nigerian student. The CJ, the Chief Justice, is in a good position to do that. We will make sure we support him to sensitize the Nigerian student against cultism. Okay, if I am elected, I will make sure that, as I've said earlier, paramilitaries, security in the school, even off campus, we know them. We can actually challenge them. We can bring out the names. These are the cultists in the school. We know them. They are around us. We can bring their names out and we can actually apprehend them. Okay, look at the recent situation in Ondo. The king himself made a list of the cultists in the town, and they were apprehended one by one, and they drank water. You know, now cultism has reduced drastically in Ondo. We can also implement that kind of, situation, which can actually bring down the rate at which cultism trends in our college.
All right, because of our time, let's take questions from our observers. I might just take one or two, please. This person says, how would you all centralize your administration without the adoption of autocracy? How would you centralize your administration without the adoption of autocracy? Mr. Akembinu?
Yes, I'm still lost with that question.
How would you centralize your administration without the adoption of autocracy?
Centralizing the administration without autocracy. Those are disjointed words. Yes, they are disjointed. Those words cannot go together. Centralize and autocracy. All right.
How do you intend to run your administration without implementing or using
force
method of leadership?
Okay, I think it is now better as the position. Let me tell you one thing. It will be a great mistake for an SUG president to think he is the administrator of the year. and start giving commands. There is a reason why there are now 12 principal officers. The president oversees and gets involved in whichever way he wants. There should be no autocracy. Let me tell you, let me give you a short background. I have served as a course leader in NC Mass Economics from 2011 till 2015. I have served in 2015, I served as a principal of student teachers in Celestial Grammar School, Ondo. In degree, in the Department of English, I served as a course leader, class leader, till I am talking right now. Last year, or this year, early this year, in our 300 level teaching practice, I was still made the principal of the student teachers at St. Monica's Girls Grammar School.
God bless the leader.
This cannot be achieved by an autocratic leader. Number one, we cannot go 3 years with this. We know the students of Adeyemi College of Education. If you are autocratic with them, the next week they have removed you. So I'm telling you right, point blank, if I'm elected, I cannot order my FinSec to do the work of the welfare. I cannot order my director of transport to hug my shoes. That is what an autocratic leader does. Democracy is what we practice, and we need to practice democracy, not autocracy. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Omani.
Yeah, please, the question.
Let me say it again. How will you run your administration without using the form of autocratic leadership?
Ordinarily, Nigeria itself practices democracy. And as a student of history, as you understand the concept of autocracy and democracy, and somebody who is preparing for the larger society, Adeyemi is just a preparatory ground for me for the larger society. And as much as I'm preparing to get something in the larger societal politics, definitely I know the best system of government that I can use in governance as president if elected. Now this is how you do it. That is what we call division of labor. Why do we have the office of the director of transport? Why do we have the office of the publicity and all that? Why do we have the office of director of finance? You give them their duties. You don't expect the student union president to be carrying souvenir up and down. You don't expect the student union president to go and liaise with who produce the souvenir. You don't expect the student union president to be telling information when you have the publicity secretary or the publicity director. You don't also as well expect the student union president to take in charge of the student union boss. You don't do that. And when you do it, the student union, if they are not talking, we are watching you and we are waiting you in the larger society. And as time passed, I've been a course rep, general course rep from my NC days to my degree days, and up to this moment, I've been doing all of this. Not only that, when I was in NC1, I was elected as my local government president. NC1, just NC1. Now they might have seen some things. For you to come out, and I was the first democratic elected NC president in my local government, the first. Because it has been degree. There was an NC dichotomy. When I came, I said, who are you? When I'm doing 29 courses, you are doing 14 courses. And we stopped the dichotomy just to tell them that we can do it better than the way others are doing it. And for you to achieve this, my brother, you need to be more democratic. In order to achieve all of this, give room to those who are supposed to perform their duties. By that, you are going to make a good administration. What people are going to say about for over 10, 20 years. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Ekwaya.
Well, as the student union president, it is only an irresponsible leader that forces action on others. I am part of the present regime, and I know why we have actually achieved much in this regime. it is due to cooperation between members of the executives. As a responsible president, you don't force anything on the ESCO. As a matter of fact, you are co-student. You are the president, you are not the lecturer. The Comrade Adebusoye cannot command me to post anything. He knows me very well. I will tell him point blank, Mr. President, and do it. You see, as a good leader, you must practice what we call an inclusive government. To achieve greatly, you must practice what we call inclusive government. Call the 19 principal officers. Okay, by the conformity of the constitution, these are what you should do. Even at their first night, we distributed the responsibility to each and every office. Okay, by this is what you do. Succulent, you are in charge of this. The VP, you are in charge of it. And that's why we achieve greatly. So I know where we can actually fumble if a president forces action on his ESCO. If elected as the president, I will make sure that my ESCOs work. As a matter of fact, let me tell you something. The president is the least among the ESCO because the president is just to oversee, not even to command or, you know. But as the president, the welfare by the conformity of the constitution, these are what you do. By the conformity of the constitution, this is what you do as the PRO. And that's how we can have a good and nice regime. Thank you.
All right, because of our time, I would just say we are sorry. We are shutting down the messages from our observers and from the other beacons. Pressmen, do you have questions for them?
Let me start from my side. And I would like to know that this down here, I am representing the applicants. So I am applicant myself now. An applicant, I'm representing the applicants. My first question goes to the special student valuable education. So, talking about this. I observed that talking about those who use the third leg, you know what I mean?
I understand.
There are no provisions for them from the school management. Maybe they are. But I observed that you cannot expect someone using a wheelchair to go to lecture chapters like additional. There's no free access to that. And the past government, I have been observing that there's nothing to be done so far. What plan do you guys have on ground towards this? There are things we can do to make things easy for them. Let them feel as if they are enjoying the benefit of students. And also the issue of school fee. Whether you like it or not, if you have a population of 1,000 students in school, all of us cannot pay the school fee at the same time. We are from different backgrounds. That's why we have the issue of loan. The issue of loan came up, stop at the moment, and then it happens to some sort of students. When it's time for them to pay their school fee, they start shipping up and down. You know, this is supposed to. What are the things on ground? Maybe before the school resumes, we know how they get into education. The management is always up to it. A week after resumption, start paying your school fees. They believe when you go and work and pay money. What are the things on ground? What maybe you should is there plans on ground? Maybe you work not to the school management before the school resumption and just make a public information. Okay, yes, you're supposed to pay your school fee, but in case you do not pay your school fee on time, these are things we have on ground from the student representative angle. And also the issue of payment for awards. The first night, I don't know if it's okay for me to pay for awards. Award is what you think befits me. What do you think I'm worthy of? Why should I pay for award? I'm just saying because most applicants think that's wrong, and I'm saying their voice right now. I'm speaking on their behalf. Don't you think that should come? Or do you try to stop that during your administration?
Who should answer first? Yeah, firstly, you talk about the special students. The special students know me very well, and they know what I do for them, especially those ones in EFC. The last Dean of Student Affairs actually met with me one time like that, and he told me these students are facing some kind of challenges. he told me some of the things they face, and he said I should create a time for them in Abeku FM so that they can actually talk to the entirety of the Nigerian students, so that they can actually get help from them. I met one of them, Olamide, in CAF, and she told me some of the things. One of the things is, you know, sometimes she doesn't get someone to push her to lectures. My brother, to be sincere, I as the president cannot enforce somebody to push her to the lecture, but we can actually compel some people. We can actually beg some people. Okay, she's a co-student, but she's having a challenge. Please help us with her. And to be sincere, she has a lovely roommate, she has a lovely friends that actually help her with these things. But if elected as the president, I tell you, I am a friend of so many schools, but I'm very close to the students of Lautech. And the president, the current one, President Laurel, we met and he told me that the last time they provided a wheelchair for a student, it was an electronic one. Then he gave them the contact of the NGO, which I have made contact with them, and they promised to actually help us. So if they actually help, it will stop her from working, from waiting for someone to push her to the lecture. And secondly, you talk about the school fee. My brother, it is everywhere. I, as the student union government, I am also a student. I'm a student union president if elected. I'm a student like everybody. I cannot promise that I will provide school fee for anybody. But mind you, there's provision for scholarship. Our government will make sure that every section we go to every faculty to bring out the best student from each faculty, in which we will give them scholarship every section. And more importantly, when we are talking about Adeyemi management are the best, to be sincere. Like I told you, I'm from Ogbomoso and I know how Lautech runs. If you don't pay your school fee between the first month, you are going to pay a fine of 10,000, 5,000 naira. But it is not working here because we run this school as a family. I am very close to the provost, and sometimes when we discuss in our meeting, the way he talks, I was speaking with a girl, I said I've never met a management, even in my secondary school. They said yours if you don't pay. But the college management still believes that the students in this school are poor, they are indigent students. Okay, let us give them time to actually pay. So thirdly, you talk about award. My brother, I am part of this regime, and to actually achieve, you have to spend a lot. We've consumed every money in our purse, and the director of social cannot provide for what he doesn't have. If you want the glass award, this is a certain amount you can pay. You can go and price it outside. We did not collect the money based on the issue of award. We collected the money because we did not have the money at hand.
All right.
And if elected as the student union president, this is what the student doesn't want, we will address that. Okay, we will reduce the number of hours so that we can actually give a tangible award to our students.
All right, thank you very much. Because of our time, we'll be calling it over now. Thank you, the aspirants, for the...
I would prefer to answer, because it was directed straight to me. I would prefer to answer the question of awards.
Please, 1 minute. Please, 1 minute.
Please. In my regime as the Director of Socials and Culture, the budget for the AC Student Award was just for certificates. Then these same awardees came to us and said, will you be giving us certificates? Will you be giving us certificate and this and that? He said, that is what we have provisions for. And they said, what is the cost of making a plaque? And he said, if you can fund a plaque yourself, once you have confirmed a day before the award night that you've won, you will sponsor your plaque. Nobody paid to receive an award. That is what I want to correct. Every award was given based on the winners of the poll that we did. The results are here. I can bring them out plain and direct. Everyone who won here were the one who were presented awards. Nobody paid to receive an award. Anyone who wanted to receive plaque, because if used, the certificate is downgrading, would fund a plaque. So this administration 2018-2019 did not give people award based on payment. It was given based on merit, and those who merited, who could afford. I collected the certificate award. I could not afford the plaque. So if I can do that, why would I?
Thank you very much. So we are calling it over now. Thank you, the aspirant for the president. You can step down. And let me quickly invite the next post, and that is the Director of Socials and Culture. The Director of Socials and Culture, please, can you come forward? We have Adekemi Josephine, Donko Monica Folashade, Ashemolu Olarewaju Emmanuel. Director of Socials and Culture, Adekemi Josephine, Donko Monica Folashade, Ashemolu Olarewaju Emmanuel. Please, can you step up to the stage for your manifesto? Adekemi Josephine, Donko Monica Folashade, Ashemolu Olarewaju Emmanuel. Alright, we will just say that you can also listen to us through our FM. It is online now, 88.0, that's AC Radio. Please tune in to our FM 88.0, and you can listen to all that is going on presently at the studio. The televised manifesto is also on to our radio station. Thank you very much. Please, because of our time, we would want you to be brief about it, and we want you to answer questions directly based on what you have been asked. So, Adekaya, please, can you start up?
The Provost of the College, Dean of Student Affairs, Electoral Chairman, members of the Electoral Committee, greatest Nigerian students, ladies and gentlemen. Manifesto delivered by Adekemi Josephine, an aspirant for the post of Director of Socials and Culture on this day, 17th December 2019. Experience thus far. Having served as the socialite at Biology Students Association, as well as Director of Socials and at Nigerian Association of Science Students, NAS, I have had my implementation of which there have been of imperishable success towards nursing the ambition to serving applicants, of which service to humanity has been my watchword. There are two things combined together that connote my office. Of shall be my sole aim, God willing, I'm elected for this office, which are social and culture. It's without doubt that our social activities has experienced a great boost in the last two sections, with so much effort from my predecessors, and I will ensure my dexterity is being added to the success recorded thus far. And to the culture, we are smart, creative, and agile group of people with a relentless positive culture that supports rapid change and fast growth. If elected, I will work hand in hand with other ESCOs so as to achieve our aims and objectives. I'll make sure that there will be a peaceful atmosphere in all the social activities that will be organized on campus. Ultimately, I want to make next academic section an enjoyable one for all and sundry, without missing words. This section has been amazing, and I want to keep improving, but also promise to work on the work already done and keep up with the success. Together, let's each our wagon to a star. Let's be socially cultured. Long live Bausa. Long live NAS. Long live Abicans. Long live AC. Long live Ondo State. Thanks.
Thank you very much. The next person, brief and straightforward.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Donko Monica Folashade from the Department of Yoruba, Degree 3. I'm aspiring for the post of Director of Social and Culture. Firstly, I'd love to give all my respect and congrats for the job done by Akinbino Omolayopo. I've been enjoying organizing events from my high school. I believe the social side of life is important and way more when it comes to tertiary level. Social and culture is an integral part of Adeyemi College of Education that cannot be overlooked. I, Donko Monica Folashade, is ready to work tirelessly in achieving the following if voted in. 1. Continuation of the social and cultural programs on board. That's the film show, Afestac, award night, debate and oratory competition. 2. Promotion of African culture through socio-cultural programs. Fostering unity in the Adeyemi entertainment industry. Discovery and promotion of talent through talent hunts, stage plays, cooking competition, bringing top Nollywood artists to programs, open mics, skills acquisition. These and many more would be of utmost priority if I'm voted in. Long live Nigeria. Long live Ondo State. Long live ACE Ondo. Long live SUG. Long live Abicans.
Thank you very much. The next aspirant.
Yeah, good evening, Abicans. My name is Ashemolu Olariwaju Emmanuel. Popularly and prefer to be called the Ashmod. This is the manifesto delivered by me this day, 17th of December 2019. If elected as the Director of Social and Culture, this out of many will I put in place. Number 1, if elected, I will work hand in hand with the presidents and other members of executive. If elected, all the applicants should be expecting a world-class SUG week. If elected, I am assuring applicants, stakeholders, parents, members of staffs, as there will be a mega carnival which will bring people of all cultural backgrounds together. This I tag innovation. If elected, I will duly put in place a program to fish out talents and latents. If elected, I promise applicants to reduce by 70% every aspect of cultural bias, hate, factions, and segregation. If elected, I promise all applicants that their social well-being will of course be my uppermost duty. If elected, I wish to involve the cultural administrators, universities, local governments, and people of all calibers nationwide in the quest for social emancipations. Lastly, if elected, I will put on more inclusive social events throughout the tenure. This and many more await applicants.
Thank you very much. To start with Mr. or Study Master Ashemolu, you stated in your manifesto that you promised the applicants a world-class SUG week. I would like to buttress that, how do you then, when you say what class, it's like you're giving us, it's not even 5 like 10 star SUV. How do you then do that? And secondly, you said mega carnival. That I can remember, when the word mega is something huge. And during the manifesto of the Vice President, they stated something I quote, which was that they will try and give examination a lot. And we know that SUV comes very close to examination period. How do you then to work in hand with the Vice President in order to solve, to up the idea of too many social activities in the school which might later affect the students? And to three of you, lastly, I believe the way you can get to all applicants is not through the atmosphere but to the department. Sure. We have different tribes and backgrounds in school. We have different organizations talking about different tribes, different states and others. What have you set aside, or what do you have in place for this kind of way of bringing these people together, so that you can have a smooth, you can have social and culture. You are to oversee this as well. All other organizations or states are supposed to be yes. So what do you have in place? What strategies do you have on ground to work with this?
To start with, I would like to start from the last question, which is, if elected, I will ensure that all social directors, which we normally call at the local level or faculty level as socialites, either one or two, we ensure we have a platform at which we meet either weekly basis or monthly basis, whereby I will be able to get feedback from all of them, either at faculty level, at departmental level, at or other social organization on campus. I think if this is put in place, I think that would be better, because this is only an individual, and an individual cannot be in 3 places at the same time. So this is the best strategy that can be put in place. Form a platform at which we meet either once in a month or once in once in 2 weeks, whereby I can get informations from all of them. Then to the issue of the mega carnival. Actually, I have brothers, I have friends who are event planners, who organizes carnivals, and to do this is not something serious. I believe if you can think it, you can do it. Before you can do something, you must have perceived it in your mind that you can do it. When you lay the foundation of you can do it, then you can start working towards it.
Let me say something. Do you realize the effect we have on the budget of the student union government?
Actually, it will have, but I must tell you that it will be little. It will be little in the sense that organizations around us, either within Ondo State or outside Ondo State, can partner with us. We have ministries of cultures throughout the nationwide. You can consult them. They can help us out. We have NGOs that deal with cultures, that deal with social events. All these and many more can partner with us to achieve this. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I have a question to Dr. Monica actually. You said something about bringing our Dollywood actors to the school. How do you plan to do this? Because I want to see that the expectations to the student union, because the money is somehow too costly for the student union government.
Well, with the little link I have to some of the artists, I can bring them without a penny.
Okay, you can do that for free?
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much. Please would come to the end of this aspect of the Director of Social and Culture. and I would ask you to please step down.
Thank you.
Let me quickly invite the Director of Information, the aspirants for the Director of Information to please come forward. The aspirants for the Director of Information to please come forward. Here we have Oyelami Abiola and Kilani Abdullahi. Oyelami Abiola and Kilani Abdullahi. Please, because of our time that has been fast spent, we would want you to hit the nail directly, straight to the point, and be clear with whatever you are telling us. Thank you very much. Oyelami Abiola, you can start.
Manifesto presented by Oyelami Abiola John. Aspirants for the post of Director of Information and Publicity, Student Union Government, 2019-2020 academic session. The Provost of the College, the Dean Division of Student Affairs, the President of the Student Union, Chairman, Electoral Committee, members of the Electoral Committee, gentlemen of the press, fellow aspirants, distinguished students of this great college. A great political economist once said, and I quote, "Sustainable development is a function of transformation, which can only be gotten through effective communication, and this can only be given in a state where the ruling class is so much concerned with the welfare of our citizens." Having had the conviction to serve this prestigious community of intellectuals, I present myself to you that through your vote and support, I shall have the legitimacy to serve as the Director of Information and Publicity. My aspiration for this office is not vision crippled, rather heavily embedded with passion, confidence, and hard work with the ultimate transformation tool of new ideas, innovation, and creativity, embedded in an agenda known as the business agenda. My administration will work on exploring all facilities on ground at the college, such that these facilities will be maximally utilized to ensure that every student will attain a level of utility through a communication process, and this will be done through expansion of every channels of communication available, and also come up with new channels of communication which will make every applicant informed, and as well come up with strategies that will enhance the welfare of all applicants. This will be ensured through the business agenda, and the business agenda will be starting with restructuring the print media. No matter the level of technology in the country, the print media will continue to soar higher, but here in Adeyemi College of Education, for many human resources have been wasting because the structure on ground. I will ensure stakeholders in these aspects of communication are well utilized through a weekly news bulletin, which will be published at a rate which will be almost for free and made available to the entire Abiko community. The second, reforming the audio media. We are blessed to have here in Adeyemi College of Education 2 radio stations, which are 1, Abiko FM. This is an initiative of previous students' union leaders, which shows this is an heritage of the student union government, which must be handled with highest priority. I will make sure the vision of our past leaders, as far as this station is concerned, is being keyed into, and maximum utilization of every resources on ground, and as well advancing the station to where they actually want it to be. ACU Radio, an online radio station with the aim of putting the college on the global map, which can be listened to all over the world. This is an initiative of a former student of the college through the former provost, and as well they transmit on the frequency modulation of 88.0 FM. AC Radio is majorly being managed by the students. This shows that once students are involved, then my office as well is involved. I will do my possible best to ensure that the management is on track to ensure the progress of the radio station. I want to emphatically say this. The two radio stations will continue to coexist simultaneously and their production level at maximum level to ensure desired output. 3. Transforming the audiovisual media.
Please summarize.
ACTV, the first campus television station in Nigeria. My administration will ensure that this legacy will be handled with highest priority by putting strategies in place for ensuring the main purpose of establishing ACTV is being achieved, and as well by increasing the audience of the television station. Creation of an active official student union website. My administration will ensure that an official website of the student union government will be launched few weeks after inauguration. This will be a platform for the students and the general public to get up-to-date information as regards the proceedings of the administration, as this would make the union accessible and also the students to enjoy their right of freedom of information. Developing the human resources in the mass media. To ensure optimum delivery, human resources engaged in this communication cycle will be regulated and trained such that there will be professionalism in service delivery, and the training will be certified by a well-recognized establishment that engage in the training of journalists and on-air personalities, which can be useful for employment purpose in the nearest future. And we ensure that information circulation and general publicity is at maximum level, as well as feedback through different means will also be part of the communication process. For this is the only way we can have an effective communication. My administration will as well ensure the image of the college is not on the negative part, so that the dignity of this college will be protected. Furthermore, my administration will ensure that the relationship between the Director of Information and Publicity and the students will be mutual, and this will be done through innovative means of town hall meetings where officials of the student union will be able to meet the students and identify the basic and pressing problems of the students, which requires urgent attention.
Thank you very much. Please adhere to the
I still have some points to deliver, please.
Thank you very much. Because of our time, you've used past your time. The next.
The provost in his absence, the dean of student affairs, the press, the electoral committee, and my co-constantants. Speaking before you is comrade Keilani Abdullah Olawale, student of biology department, faculty of science at DMA College of Education, an aspirant of the post of director of information and publicity of the prestigious union government at DMA College of Education, who is a director of information and publicity. Director of information and publicity, sometimes called public relation officer. It's a person that crafts public image, coordination of public events, contexts, and organized publicity of a particular organization. It is in view of this, having had the confusion to serve this prestigious college with a goal-oriented intention that I, Keilani Abdullah Olawale, present myself to you that through your votes and immense support, I shall have the legitimacy to serve. My aspiration for the post of Director of Information and Publicity is not a vision. The crown rather is heavily embedded with passion, confidence, hard work. As such, if elected as Director of Information and Publicity of this union government, I shall embark on this following people-centered and projects. Firstly, reformation and rebranding of ACE News. My office, with consent of already existing School News and Information Authority, shall rebrand and reform the school news, so it will encompass solely around ACE and outside the school. It will also include fashion, sports, business, entertainment news that will interest our students. Secondly, proper management and monitoring of publicity facility and equipment. My office, with content of other members of the cabinet, shall ensure a fair management and monitoring of every publicity equipment that belong to this great college. I observe that the radio operates only on lecture hours as a result of students are usually busy and don't follow all of the programs. But my office shall move an extension of the closure time and shall also reform and update the radio program in a way that will promote excellence and creativity, as this in line with the motto of this institution. We also push toward enabling this facility and start generating revenue for the school by liaising with external agency and clients. Thirdly, creation of an active official website for the union. We shall launch an official SUG website. This will serve as a platform for the school management, students, and the general public to get information as regards proceeding of the administration as we make the union accessible.
Summarize your points.
Lastly, information circulation and general publicity. My office shall make information circulation and general publicity our priority in this place. We shall strive to achieve what we have sent ourselves to achieve. The law of concentration and consistency shall be our watchword. By holding God to high extreme, having afraid ourselves to serve the common good of people, and this shall reflect on our politics, conduct, and pursuit.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further preparation, once again present myself to you, my humble self, Keilani Abdullah, popularly addressed as the young, for Director of Information and Publicity.
We'll only take one question.
We shall have better union government.
Thank you very much. We'll only take one question, and this question goes to Oyelami. This person says, how do you want to manage the two radios without conflict, the two radio stations together without conflict?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think before we can come to a conclusion like this, as an economist, there are comparative advantages and there are comparative studies. When you look at Leeds City University, there exist two radio stations within Leeds City Universities, and they are existing together. Now, one is for the student union government, the other one is for the college management. Now, the one for the college management will continue to be for the college management, and the one for the student union government will continue to be for the student union government.
Thank you very much.
Though the one for the management are even majorly controlled by students.
All right. Thank you very much. You already answered. We've come to the end of this aspect. You can please step down. Thank you. You can step down. Let me invite the next treasurer, the aspirant for the post of a treasurer, Ogunshola Taye Elizabeth and Okeke Lovett Ifunaya. Ogunshola Taye Elizabeth and Okeke Lovett Ifunaya. We are being time conscious here. Please, we want you to cooperate with us by giving us a straightforward, simple, and a direct manifesto. Please answer questions directly so we don't waste time. Thank you very much. Ogunshola Taye Elizabeth, Okeke Lovett Ifunaya, you're welcome on stage. You can go on, Ogunshola.
The school management, electoral chairman, and committee members, gallant comrades, dogged leaders, elder stakeholders, and of the great Nigerian students. Here is a manifesto to be delivered by Ogunshola Taye Elizabeth, popularly known as Lizzie Gold, from the Department of Chemistry, Degree 3, constituency, vying for the post of treasurer at SG level. It is obvious that a successful administration requires a highly experienced personnel who is accountable and will safeguard the finance of the administration. I knew what it takes to be a treasurer because I have served in various capacities, which are related to financial management. I eulogize the incumbent treasurer in person of Comrade Salau Ahmed Abiola, who had worked efficaciously for proper accountability of ethics, which was well displayed without divulging information. If I am elected to paddle the keynote of the post of treasurer at the student union government, I shall keep cash books to show the union's bank transaction and deposit all monies received into the union's accounts within 24 hours. I shall present to the auditing board the union's book of accounts and relevant documents of accounts within 24 hours notice. I should write and sign all checks of the union, which will be countersigned by the President and the Director of Finance. I shall discharge my duties as guided by the financial instruction. This can only be achieved through God and your support. I am ensuring that I will do my best in discharging my duties efficaciously with all sense of modesty. I always remain to serve and not to be served. Here I am soliciting for a privilege to serve Nigerian students. Send me and I will serve you better. Let me culminate my statement with a quote from William Penn, which says, "Knowledge is the treasure, but judgment is the treasurer of a wise man." Long live Abiko, long live Nasite, long live Ondo State, and long live Nigeria. Thanks.
All right, please take over.
Good evening, everyone. I am Okeke Lovett, Ifunaya from the Department of Fine and Applied Art, School of Voc and Tech, Vocational and Technical Education, and a 300 level student. I am aspiring for the post of treasurer. If I am made the treasurer, or if I am elected as a treasurer, I promise to keep the account record of the union. Everything that pertains to the transaction of the union, of the student union government, shall I keep properly. And then I will make sure to deposit all money that is being gotten, that is gotten into the union within the minimum of 24 hours. I'll be in charge of signing and writing the check, which must be countersigned by the president and the financial secretary, that is the director of finance. These are all my duties. Also, I'll present to the auditing body payment vouchers, account books, and all documents which is related to the union's transaction within 24 hours. And then I will make sure to see and to take proper care that whatever I am signing must be backed by the Constitution. I can't just go and release the account money, the student union's account money, without proper checkup on the money. Thank you.
All right. Do we have questions for that?
Yeah, I would like to ask, can you give a brief, I was meant you guys to come from a news, since you are from different departments who are related to accounts. But I'd like to ask this question, can you give a difference between treasurer and treasurer? You go first.
Thank you very much, sir. Treasure. By the time treasure means what is precious to you, something that you count as precious, that is very important to you, that you can't do without, is your treasure. A treasurer is a person that safeguards or keeps the finance of the administration. All the transactions of the accounts have been safeguarded by the treasurer.
All right. Okay, Kev.
Yeah, treasure is that thing which you believe you have to protect. Something you have to keep. There's this feeling that you have to protect that thing. That is why it is precious, something precious to you. Then a treasurer is someone, an official, who is placed ahead of the finances or fund. It could be funds. It could be anything monetary. A treasurer is an official who is placed ahead to be on top of that thing.
All right, thank you very much. We've come to the end of this aspect. You can please step down. And now to the last competitive position. We have the Director of Welfare. Let me invite Olatunji Ayola. Olatunji. Director of Welfare. Okay, the Director of Finance. The Director of Finance, please. The Director of Finance, Omobamidagba Schofield, and Titi Lola Abdullahi. Omobamidagba Schofield and Titi Lola Abdullahi. Are they around? Please come up to the stage quickly. Because of our time, we just want a summary of your manifesto, very brief, straightforward, and answer your questions directly without long stories. Thank you very much. Omobami Dagbascofio, please. Can you start off?
The management here present, the Eleco chairman, the electorate, and my fellow aspirants. My name is Omobami Dagbascofio Olontoba from Digutiri, Department of Religious Studies. I have a vision towards the Student Union of ACREME. I have a quality to impart the students of ACREME. My visions are to make sure that the financial and the Student Union Fund are judicially used and wisely managed and utilized with service and sacrifice as watchword. My qualities are humility, integrity, transparency, sincerity, responsibility, and accountability. As a great student of this noble institution, I have inquired to ask a question and a research on why the SUG is not living up to bill, and I came to the conclusion that the student union need to be transparent in financing, in their financial and accountability in their management of affairs of the union. Having served as the treasurer of Social Study Department in 2015-2016, I believe I am equipped. These are my agendas. Number one, the fund distributed to officials of the union will be well judicially used and give account before the office, which this fund is distributed before accessing another funds. I will make sure I work in hand and partner with the bank and other business and enterprises within and outside the schools, and facilitate that sponsorship to support the students who are experiencing difficulty in their payment of the school fees.
Please summarize.
Okay. Third one, I will support and I will work in hand with the president elected in order to suggest a progressive and innovative program, an idea suggested by the president. I will work hand in hand with the president and the director of finance to see to the financial need and challenges of the students within, and it's come to the photocopy and buying of food, transport, and which will be well see to the price, and things can be brought to the affairs and avoidable ability to the capacity of the students.
Thank you very much. Mr. Titulola.
The local chairman, the member of the electoral committee, press crew, fellow contestants, ladies and gentlemen, good evening to you all. Manifesto speech delivered by Sister Abdul Adekola, an aspirant for the post of Director of Finance, Student Union Government at the College of Education Ondo. If I emerge as Director of Finance of Academic College of Education, my manifesto goes thus. Firstly, I shall keep an account of money received from every student union activities, which will be subjected to auditing by the auditing board. Secondly, I shall be responsible for the preparing financial records of Central Executive Council in conjunction with the member of the Senate. Also, I shall provide official certified receipts for all the money received on behalf of the union. Furthermore, I shall work with other members of the executives of the union for more effectiveness and progress in the activities of the union. Lastly, as I discharge my duty in accordance with the dictates of the Constitution of the Student Union Government Academic College of Education. In conclusion, I shall work in hand with the President and other executives for the betterment of Nigerian students. At this stage, I will say it's a big challenge, but I can't do it alone. With your vote, as you all know that success is the result of what? Of prevention, handwork, learning from failure, loyalty, and persistence. Dare to struggle, dare to win. Long live academic education. Long live Nigerian student. Alton Consignor, Victoria, etc.
Thank you very much.
You said something about approving of money and giving of an account. You know, it is the sole duty of the student representative council to checkmate the affairs of the CBC. I think being the budget was approved in the first place, for instance, for welfare director. And unfortunately, he was unable to give an account to you. And another budget was not ratified. How do you intend to come into this?
Firstly, when a budget is being ratified, proper thing which a director of finance have to do is to monitor how this money is being utilized. If money is not being utilized in a proper way or used in a judicious way, I will work in hand with the present government, with the present CEC chairman, in order to see, how to not to disburse out the money for any office which have not properly utilized the money, because everything I do, I will give account of it.
All right, thank you very much. We've come to the end of this stage, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to inform you. You can please step down.
Okay.
I'm pleased to inform you that we would not be taking any other aspirants because they are unopposed. And I'm throwing the ball to Mr. Chairman. Are we set for tomorrow's election? So can you tell us again the time? Can you give us the process of the election, the modalities of the election? Can you please tell Abicant? I'm sure they want to hear everything about how set we are for this.
Tomorrow's election, everything has been put in place to make the election a peaceful one. So just come there tomorrow by 8 o'clock a.m. and start voting.
All right, thank you very much. You've heard it all from the Mr. Chairman of the Electoral Committee. And tonight, I'm glad and pleased to tell you that the 2019-2020 AC decides are ready for the election tomorrow. My special acknowledgement goes to our beloved Provost, Dr. Samuel Akintunde. Special appreciation to the Dean of Student Affairs, Mr. O.O. Akinola. Special thanks also to the HEMA Director, Dr. Kehinde Adenego. Special thanks to our own Director, ACTV, Mr. David Olaoye. And special thanks to ACTV crew, ACTV staffs. Thank you, our viewers online. Thank you for those that were watching on our TV stations. Thank you for those that were following up live on YouTube. Thank you for the radio stations. Thank you for tuning in to our radio station. Thank you, my pressmen. You've really been wonderful. Thank you, everyone, for staying tuned. And to all the aspirants, thank you very much. I just want to say that everybody is a born winner. Everybody is a born leader. We all have our opportunities at different times, and that's just what makes the difference. So tomorrow, every one of you are all born leaders and are all born winners. I wish you the best, and ACTV says, thank you, we all love you. Thank you also to our Vice Dean for being around with us. Dr. Mrs. Ogbaru, thank you very much for your stay, for your care. We appreciate everyone that has made this program to be a success. AC Decides 2019-2020 can only happen by your votes. Please vote wisely. Please vote well. Your vote counts tomorrow. Come out and cast your vote. Your vote is your right. Until next time, stay tuned on ACTV for information, for entertainment, for education. My name is Adira Batinike, the Director of Programs for ACTV. Your name?
My name is Elorida Kushai, once again, Director of Programs for ACTV.
I still remain my powerful and the only general in the ACTV. Thank you for watching.
Good night.